rotations, clockwise and anti-clockwise, and then we'll move on to the big rotations.
देखो कोई मैसेज आया है, एक्सेप्ट करो।
हाँ. Let's do big rotations. In opposite direction. And relax. And let's take our hands in front of us, making a fist. And fist rotation, clockwise and anti-clockwise. And now let's stretch our fingers and the wrist, front and back. Same thing with the other hand, front and back. Now let's move to the top. Let's come to the neck rotations. So again, clockwise and anti-clockwise while coming forwards. Exhale and inhale while going back. And opposite direction. And relax. Let's take it front and back, chin to chest, and going back. And side to side. And if you're not able to touch the ear to the shoulder, gently pressing it to give that extra pressure and extra stretch. And relax. So let's chant Om for 3 times, Gayatri Mantra, and we'll move on to the asanas. Sitting straight with spine erect and Dhyan Mudra. Bhuvassuvaः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात्. Gently opening the eyes. Let's sit in Malasana. Namaskar Mudra and pushing our knees away with our elbows and sitting straight and holding here for a few moments. Now placing our left palm on the floor and right hand on the pointing ceiling and looking up. And let's do with the other hand and repeat this for 2-3 more times. And let's hold the big toes with our palms and sitting up and down, going up and coming down. And standing up. Let's just wiggle our legs and going into Tadasana. Place interlocking of fingers, placing on top of our head and stretching as much as possible and standing on our tippy toes and holding here for a few moments and relax. Repeating it one more time. And relax. Now let's do Vrikshasana. Holding our leg and placing it on our thigh. Making sure that it's not on our knee and pushing it back and joining both our hands and focusing on a point to maintain our balance. And again stretching our hands and holding for a few moments. And we can take the help of the wall if we are not able to balance. Again repeating with the other hand, the other leg. And focusing on a point so that we are able to balance it. And relax. Now let's do Kati Chakrasana. Stretching our legs and taking our arms in front of us and rotating on our spine. It's good for our spine, back. Just let's do this for say 20 times. And relax. Again, stretching our legs. And we'll do this for 20 times. Again, Kati Chakrasana. But pointing our hand towards the ceiling and the other hand touching the opposite leg. And relax. Let's do some waist rotation. Standing straight and rotating our waist clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. And opposite direction. And relax. Now knee rotations, but those with the knee issues, please avoid or do it gently and doing it clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. And relax. So let's do some yogic jogging for next 3 minutes. And we'll go into Trikonasana and Surya Namaskar. Aerobic jogging, going front and back, side to side, moving our arms, going around the room. And gently relax. Bringing our blood to normal. Let's go into Trikonasana. Our right leg pointing towards our mat and left leg perpendicular to our right leg. Stretching it and stretching our arms and going sliding towards our right side and bending. Our right hand touching our left foot or holding onto our left foot and left hand pointing towards the ceiling. Gently push our left shoulder back so that it's straight and making sure our knees are straight and not bent. And holding here for a few moments. And now with the other leg, changing the direction. Again, stretching our arms, sliding towards our left and going down with making sure our knees are not bent and shoulder, right shoulder, we are pushing it more back and gently sliding towards our foot, or if we can't, we can stay wherever we are able to without bending the knees and holding here for a few moments and back. So let's do Surya Namaskar. We've got 5 minutes. Let's start with first round slow and later on at our own pace. Om Suryaya Namaha. Stretching our arms up and bending forward. With every exhalation, trying to touch our forehead to our knees or towards our legs, chest to our inner thigh, and we can even place our hands and standing straight up. And Dakshinastra Sanchalan, taking our right leg back, inhale while doing that, and looking forward, making sure our right knee is straight. Parvatasana, both the feet together, next to each other, and again with every exhalation, taking our head towards the floor making sure that both the feet are touching the floor. And now plank. Inhale while doing plank. Standing straight. Holding here for a few moments. Last time pranam. Exhale while doing this. Chin, chest, palms, and the toes are touching the ground. Everything else is lifted up. And inhale Bhujangasana. Bhujangasana, it's good for our lower back. And exhale again Parvatasana. And inhale Astra Sanchalan, bringing our right leg back in between the palms. And exhale again, bringing both the feet together. Inhale while going back, making sure our hands are touching our ears while going back. And rounding up and bring up. We'll do the same with our left leg now. Inhale, exhale, inhale, Asvasanchalan, exhale, Parvatasana, inhale, plank, exhale, Ashtanga Pranam, inhale, Bhujangasana, exhale, Parvatasana, inhale, again Asvasanchalan, exhale, inhale, and pranam. Let's do this for 2 more minutes at our own pace. Om Surya Namaha. Last round. And relax. Relax on your mat. Opening the palms. And inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth to bring your breath to normal. Once your breath is normal, let's do Tadasana while lying down and stretching our arms and feet and stretching as much as possible as if someone is pulling from both the directions. And relax. Repeating it for one more time. And relax. Now let's do Gatyatmak Paschimottanasana, Halasana, and Sarvangasana. So taking our hands up, making sure that it's touching our ears, our arms are touching our ears while going front. And let's come into a swinging momentum. And with that, it's more easier to go into Sarvangasana and Halasana. Let's do this for 5-6 times until we pick up the speed. So Sarvangasana, placing our arms behind our back and our feet pointing towards the ceiling. Just the shoulders and the head are on the ground. Holding here for a few moments and gently taking it towards Halasana. And gently coming down. And relax. And we'll do the Upasana for this. Now that we have bent it forwards, we'll do the bridge pose or Kandharasana. Taking our feet as close to our body as possible and then tucking our shoulders and holding our ankles with our palms and taking it up. Pushing our tummy up and holding here for a few moments. And now we can do like 10 times coming down and going back up. And gently relax. We'll do Chakrasana now. Placing our palms next to our head and again bringing our feet as close to us as possible and lifting our body up and placing it. The weight is on our feet and on the crown of our head and pushing our tummy up, holding here for a few moments and gently coming back down and relax. Now let's go into Markatasana, which is good for our back. So anyone with the back issues, it gives relief. So folding our legs and stretching our hands. So Markatasana variation 1. So taking both our knees onto our right side and we are looking towards the left. So we are twisting our spine. Good for the lower back issues. And the other way. Now let's do the second variation. Stretching our feet shoulder width apart and placing our left foot on our right knee and taking both the knees towards the ground. And our aim is to touch both the knees towards the ground, and again we'll be facing the other direction. If our knees are onto our left, we'll be facing towards the right. And again, with the other leg, taking both the feet, both the knees onto our ground, and we can give the extra pressure with our heel and gently pressing it towards the floor. And we can feel the little stretch or the pressure on our lower back. And now let's do some cycling with both the legs at the same time or one at a time. So let's do, it's good for our thighs, going clockwise and anti-clockwise directions. And you can do both at the same time. To make it easier, we can make a fist and putting it under our hips. So it's a bit more easier. In the opposite direction. And relax. Now let's roll onto our tummy and do Makarasana, placing our chin in our palms and doing again one leg at a time, tapping with our heels to our back. And both at the same time. And relax. And again, one more asana good for our back is Bhujangasana. We'll do different variations in Bhujangasana. One is placing our palms on top of each other. And let's go and back. Inhale while going up and exhale while coming down. The other variation we can do is making fist and next to our chest. And same. Inhale while going up, exhale while coming down. Again, this is good for our lower back. Or we can even press on our fingers to give that extra pressure even on our fingertips. And while doing the last one, we'll see our heels, twisting back and looking at our heels. And gently relax. Again, taking breath from our nose and exhaling through our mouth to bring it to normal quicker. Let's do Dhanurasana now. Holding our ankles with our palms and lifting up our body. So from front and from back, our weight is basically on our tummy. And we can do roll front to back or side to side, coming onto our shoulders, but making sure our knees are not touching the ground while doing this. And gently relax. And now coming on all fours. Let's do Marjorie. Exhale while looking up. Again, this is also one more asana, good for our spine. And exhale, chin to chest, and rounding our spine. And inhale while looking up. And we'll bring the opposite hand and leg together, elbow and the knee, touching your elbow and knee, and stretching outwards. And let's do it for a couple of more times. And now let's change to opposite leg and hand. Again, inhale while stretching and exhale while bringing forwards. And relax. Let's do Mandukasana. Making fist with both our hands, placing right next to our navel, pushing them, and going forwards and giving that extra pressure. It's especially good for our pancreas and tummy and the stomach. People with diabetes, it's good for them. We can do either Kapalbhati or normal breath. And giving that extra pressure with the fist and going back. Again, we'll do the same, but this time on our navel, pressing it and covering, pressing with our left fist and covering with our right palm and going down. And holding for a few moments. And gently coming back. We'll do the third variation, making a cup out of our palms and around the navel. And when we are down, like exhale and come down, we'll be like moving it front and back. So it's again giving that extra pressure on our stomach area. And gently coming back. We'll do Upasana for this Mandukasana. Let's do Ushtasana for the camel pose. Looking back, bending backwards, and once we are able to bend as much as possible, let's hold our heel, both the heels with our palms, and looking back. We can either do Kapalbhati or just be in the normal breathing mode. And gently coming back up. Let's sit and let's go into the Gomukhasana. Sitting, either you can sit on a heel, or if it's not possible, you can just sit right next to it and making sure our knees are on top of each other. And whichever knee is on top, taking that hand up, and with the other hand, our aim is to interlock the fingers to give that extra stretch. And looking up, and we can do Kapalbhati, or you can continue the normal breath. And let's change the legs. So this time, my right leg is on top, so my right hand is on top. And trying to interlock my fingers. And looking up, and Kapalbhati. And gently relax, and a couple of normal breaths here. And let's go into Vakrasana. So in Vakrasana, we can either place our leg either inner side of our thigh or outer side of our thigh. And whichever leg is bent, that hand goes back. And the opposite hand, we try to push our knee with our elbow and trying to touch our ankle or foot. Or if you are not able to do the ankle, we can hold anywhere on our leg. And looking towards our back. Again, we can feel the twist in our spine. We can either do Kapalbhati again or normal breath. Now the opposite leg. And gently relax. A couple of normal breaths here. Let's go into Singhasana, which is good for our thyroid glands. And either you can do in Padmasana position with our legs or with Bhujangasana position. So touching our feet if you're doing Bhujangasana. If you are able to do Padmasana, you can do that. Or you can do like this. And our palms facing, fingers facing towards me. And our spine down. Taking our tongue out, and while exhale, roaring like a lion. Gently coming back and gently rubbing our throat. Good for our thyroid glands. And let's do Pakshi Hasi, and we'll go into the pranayama. after this. We can do it for a couple of times. One more time, which is increasing our lung capacity. And gently closing your eyes and taking a couple of normal breaths. And let's chant Om and we'll go into the pranayam. Let's start with Bhasika. With one nostril. Let's start with the right nostril first and closing with the other hand. With the left hand, we can do Dhyan Mudra. We can either sit on Padmasana, Ardha Padmasana or Sukhasana, sitting straight with spine erect. And with Pranayama Mudra, forceful inhale and exhalations with the right nostril. And then we'll go into the left nostril with the last breath. Because we are starting with the right, then exhale towards our left and continue with our left. Let's do Bhastrika. Mool Bandh with sitting straight and spine erect. Once you have completed your round with Bhastrika, we'll do both the nostrils, but in Sudarshan Kriya later. But now that we are rich in oxygen, the lungs capacity has increased, we have rich in oxygen. So let's do Bahya Kumbhak and Antrik Kumbhak. So in Bahya Kumbhak, we'll sit straight again with all three bandhas, but after exhaling, like inhale and exhale the air completely. Then Mool Bandha, Udyan Bandh, and Jalandhar Bandh. So Mool Bandh, we are pulling the rectum and the urethra muscles up, and Udyan Bandh as if our navel is touching our spine, and Jalandhar Bandh is the lock at our throat so that it stops the air from coming in. Relax. And again, Antrik Kumbh is opposite. We'll take the air in again with the three locks.
प्लीज जो जो आपने अभी बस्तर का करवाया है तो उसके बाद ये मूल बंद वगैरह करना है।
Sorry?
ये बस्तर का करवाने के बाद आपने मूल बंद करना है।
So Mool Bandh उड्डयन बंद is
नहीं वो मुझे मालूम है,
हाँ
वैसे आपने भस्त्रिका के बाद भी ही करना है ये।
ऐसे नहीं, मैं भस्त्रिका के बाद बहुत सारा ऑक्सीजन मिला है ना, तो इसलिए मैंने बाह्य कुंभक किया, तो वो लो ऑक्सीजन हो जाता है ना बाह्य कुंभक करने के बाद, इसलिए
नहीं
भस्त्रिका के
भस्त्रिका के
बाद
बाद भस्त्रिका के बाद ये करना है ना।
ऐसे रूल नहीं है, बस ऐसे कर रहे हैं।
वैसे तो हम कपालभाति के बाद करते हैं ना ये सब।
हाँ, कपालभाति के बाद भी कर सकते हैं, ऐसे नहीं कि इसके बाद ही करना है।
हाँ, ठीक, थैंक यू।
थैंक यू। Let's do Kapalbhati now. So in Kapalbhati, again sitting straight with spine erect and forceful. We are focusing on forceful exhalations, and inhalation happens involuntarily. Mool Bandh in this. If we have been doing the Kapalbhati during the asanas, now we can do any other asana that you would like to do that we have missed, or repeat any other asanas, or we can continue Kapalbhati for next 2 to 3 minutes. We can count how many we are able to do in one cycle, so that we can try to increase that number next time. Let's do last round of Kapalbhati. And gently relax with 2 to 3 normal breaths. Next, let's do Agnisar. In Agnisar, we'll inhale and exhale all the air out, and we'll do Mool Bandh and Jalandhar Bandh, and in that position, we'll flap the tummy muscles front and back. Again, we'll repeat for a couple of more rounds. And once you complete this round, gently relax and take a couple of breaths with normal breathing before we go into the next pranayama. And the next one is Anulom Vilom. So Anulom Vilom, we are just regulating our breath. Dhyan Mudra with our left hand and Pranayama Mudra. So we'll inhale through our right and close it with our thumb and exhale through our left. Again, inhale through our left, close with the two fingers and inhale through our, exhale through our right nostril. So we'll repeat this. This is one round. So inhale right, exhale left, inhale left and exhale right. So this is one round. We'll do it for next 3-4 minutes. And we can either continue doing this or after a few rounds of Anulom Vilom, we can do Nadi Shodhan Pranayam. And Nadi Shodhan Pranayam is similar to Anulom Vilom, but in this case, we just make a count while inhaling, say 5 or 10 counts while inhaling. So if we do 5 counts, hold it for 5 counts, and then exhale for 10 counts, so double the amount of whatever you're inhaling. So let's do Anulom Vilom or Nadi Shodhan. Again, sitting straight with spine erect and Mool Bandh here. once you complete this round of Anulom Vilom, just take normal breath. And we'll go into Bhastrika. But doing this in the Sudarshan Kriya, you can either continue sitting in the Padmasana or Sukhasana, or you can sit on the Vajrasana position. So we'll do all the 4 variations of this. So Bhastrika, again, forceful inhalation and exhalation. Mool Bandh here, and while it's also good for our shoulders, the shoulder exercise as well. So inhale and exhale while bringing towards you, and inhale while going up. So let's do 20 to 25 times in each variation. Front and back. And up and down. Next variation. And now interlocking our fingers, and again up and down. And the last variation, placing our fingers on our shoulder, open and close. And we'll relax, but in Balasana position. Again, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Now sitting back. And let's do Ujjayi Pranayam. So Ujjayi Pranayam, again good for the thyroid gland. So sitting straight with Mool Bandh, and either you can hold your tongue touching your upper palate, and while inhaling making the snoring sound, or taking your breath through your throat. Last time. And gently. Let's take a couple of normal breaths and go into Bhramari. So for Bhramari, we'll place the fingers on our face, index on our forehead, and the middle finger on our eyes, and the other 2 fingers next to our nostril. And with the thumb closing the flap of our ears. And let's do this for 5 times. So while in, again, Mool Bandh here, sitting straight, and inhale, and while exhaling, we are making the humming, the bee noise. So we will be chanting Om, but it comes out as the humming noise. Now let's sit and play it for next couple of minutes. Focusing on our breath, with closing our eyes, but trying to look towards the middle of our eyes in the Agna Chakra. Let's chant Om and then with Mahamrityunjay mantra and Shanti Path. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mukshiyamamrutat. Om Dhyau ShantirantarikshamShanti Prithvi Shantirapa Shantiroshadayah Shanti Vanaspatayah Shanti Vishve Deva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarva Shanti Shantireva Shanti Sama Shantiredhi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. You feel my palms? And with that warmth, placing on our body parts, especially where it's paining more, and transferring that positive energy to that body part, and gently opening our eyes